It's so sad to me. Not what happened here. This is tragic. What is sad and upsetting to me is the response that this has gotten. I don't think addiction is political. And today, following this news, conservatives keep mocking Rosie O'Donnell, and this has gone very viral in conservative circles, trying to also make a case against gay people having children and adopting and surrogacy, and just no. I also think that Rosie O'Donnell is an amazing person who has done such good for the world, especially young people whom she adopted and gave them a chance at a better life. But as we all know, addiction does not discriminate. Her daughter is an adult, a mother herself, almost 30 years old. Chelsea O'Donnell is 27, and she is struggling. And she has made some very bad choices. Choices that should have consequences, and she's already facing some of those consequences. According to the arrest report, Chelsea herself called 911 last month after getting into a fight with her boyfriend. She has been living in Marinette, Wisconsin, and has an 11-month-old, a boy. When the officers arrived, responding to her 911 call, she tried to downplay what happened. The arresting officer says, "I tried to ask her more questions, and you could tell Chelsea was not being honest whatsoever. This was a repeat of what happened a few weeks prior when I was at her house for a similar incident." Police began to investigate at the scene, and that's when they found in her place of living a meth pipe with residue. And then things took a really awful turn. Police arrested Rosie's daughter and went to check on her son, Atlas, where they discovered in his room a box of hypodermic needles. While in the patrol car, Chelsea admitted to having something in her bra, which police described as a vial-type container and clear plastic bag with some white pills. The report reads, quote, "In the black vial was a white crystal-like substance that I know to be meth." Police alleged that Chelsea had 18 grams of meth on her. Both Chelsea and her boyfriend's pupils were dilated and did not respond to a flashlight being shown in their eyes, indicating to law enforcement that they had likely been using recreational drugs, the report alleges. With an 11-month-old baby there. Oh, goodness. The police report also says the boyfriend, facial features were sunken in and he was missing some teeth. His muscle tone was very rigid and he seemed like he was flexing even though he was not. I asked him what other drugs he used today and he said that he only smokes marijuana. Based on my training and experience, I know that marijuana will not have this effect on your eyes. I have previously observed this type of impairment on someone that had smoked meth. Oh, goodness. This gets even worse. Police described the squalid scene that greeted them as they ventured inside the home with rotting food and dirty and moldy dishes all over the place. Quote, "The inside of the home was disgusting, with milk that stunk so bad it almost made me puke. Dirty diapers, used female hygiene products, unclean underwear with feces and blood stains, and used razor blades on the floor. Some of the needles were used and had dried blood in them. I know that drug users commonly use needles like this to shoot meth into their arms or bang out," the officer additionally wrote in his report. A second officer wrote about a similar scene with old rotting fruit, garbage, random tools, and butane bottles sitting on the floor, all mixed with the clothing belonging to the child. Additionally, quote, under a baby crib, I located a black and silver digital scale, some used gem bags with white residue, and a sharp container that had more used and unused hypodermic needles underneath the crib. In a clothes pile, I found a straw that had been cut off and burnt. One of the officers described Chelsea as sweating profusely and being very jittery while police were in her house. Oh boy. During their search, police also found evidence suggesting drug trafficking may have been occurring inside the house and a meth cooking setup was in place. Oh boy. She's gonna do serious time. Oh my God. And despite that, she was released because this incident happened in September. Yet earlier this month, on October the 11th, police pulled her over there in Wisconsin when she was driving and arrested her when they found a meth pipe on her. During that October 11th arrest, she also had on her oxycodone, morphine sulfate pills, and hydrocodone stuffed into her bra. Police charged her with meth possession, bail jumping, and possession of narcotics, all felonies. She will appear in court in November to address those charges and the charges from last month when the authorities went to her house. She's been charged with multiple felonies in that incident. For the September arrest at her place of living, she is facing 4 felony counts: maintaining a drug trafficking place, child neglect, possession of meth, and possession of THC. Additionally, 2 misdemeanor charges, including disorderly conduct and possession of illegally obtained prescription drugs. Hopefully, Rosie can take her grandson and give him a fighting chance. These are serious crimes. I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury, but awful, awful.